He faked their kid not breathing for a party. Where resigned her job to?
He said our son wasn't breathing. So why is the ER telling me he was never here? I'm Lena, still in my work clothes, standing at the hospital desk, heart pounding so hard I can barely hear the nurse repeating my son's name back to me. My husband called screaming, "Come now." I left everything, my job, my meeting, everything, and drove like I might lose him if I slowed down. But there's no record, no intake, no doctor, nothing. The nurse frowns, typing again. Are you sure you have the right hospital? My phone buzzes in my hand. It's a text from my husband. A photo loads, dark room, drinks, people laughing, and him smiling straight at the camera. Best night ever. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. The message doesn't make sense. Not just because of the words, but because of the timing. 3 minutes ago, he was screaming so loudly I had to pull the phone away from my ear. I could hear panic in his voice, raw and desperate. Lena, please, he's not breathing. And now he's smiling into a camera like nothing ever happened. My fingers go cold around my phone. Ma'am? The nurse says gently, leaning forward. Do you want me to check another hospital in the area? I don't answer her right away. I'm staring at the photo. Ethan is standing in what looks like a crowded room, dim lights, bodies packed together, someone holding a red cup in the corner. There's music. I can almost hear it through the image. His arm is lifted like he's mid-cheer, his face flushed, relaxed, happy. Not scared, not shaken, not the face of someone who just watched his son stop breathing. My stomach twists. This has to be a mistake, I finally say, but my voice sounds thinner than I expect. He called me from here, from the ER. The nurse glances at my phone, then back at me. There's a shift in her expression, something careful, measured. What's your son's name again? Noah Carter. He's 6, brown hair. He was fine this morning. My words trip over each other. Can you check again, please? She nods, types it in again, slower this time. I watch her screen like something might change if I focus hard enough. Nothing does. I'm sorry, she says quietly. We don't have anyone by that name, and no pediatric emergency matching what you described came in tonight. A hollow space opens in my chest. Because if he's not here, then where is he? My phone buzzes again. Another message from Ethan. For a second, I hesitate. My thumb hovers over the screen like opening it might make everything worse. Then I tap it. It's the same photo, but zoomed out this time. More of the room is visible. A couch, a coffee table cluttered with bottles, someone sitting cross-legged on the floor, laughing at something off camera. And something else. Something that makes my breath catch halfway in. The couch. It's gray, sectional, slight tear on the left cushion. I know that couch. I bought that couch. No, I whisper. Ma'am, the nurse says again, a little firmer now. I don't respond. I'm zooming in, fingers trembling, dragging the image closer. The wall behind him white, but not quite. There's a faint mark near the corner where Noah once dragged a crayon too hard. I tried to scrub it out. It never fully came off. It's still there. My vision narrows. That's my house, I say, barely audible. The nurse pauses. I'm sorry? That's my house, I repeat, louder now, turning the phone toward her. That's my living room. He's not at the hospital. The words feel wrong as they leave my mouth, like they don't belong in the same sentence. My husband told me our son wasn't breathing. And instead of being here, he's at home, throwing a party. A sharp wave of heat rushes through me, anger, confusion, something sharper underneath it that I don't want to name yet. Can you call him? The nurse asks. I've been calling him, I say. He's not picking up. Another buzz. A third message. This time, it's just text. Relax. He's fine. I stare at it. Relief should come first. That's what makes sense. He's fine. That should be the only thing that matters. But it doesn't land that way. Because if Noah's fine, then everything else means something else entirely. My hands start shaking. I hit the call button again. It rings once. Twice. Then he answers. There's music in the background, loud, bass heavy, people shouting over each other. Lena, his voice is different now, casual, almost amused. You made it to the hospital? What is going on? I demand. My voice cracks, louder than I intend. A couple of people in the waiting room glance over. Where is Noah? He's fine, Ethan repeats, like it's obvious. I told you. You said he wasn't breathing. My grip tightens around the phone. You said Ethan. I left work. I ran out of a meeting. Yeah, he cuts in. I can hear him take a sip of something. Ice clinks against glass. I needed you to leave. The words hit harder than the lie. What? I needed you out of the house, he says, like he's explaining something simple. You wouldn't have left otherwise. My brain struggles to keep up. You lied about our son dying, I say slowly, so I would leave work? There's a beat, then a small laugh on his end. Don't be dramatic, he's fine, he's at my sister's. The hallway feels like it's tilting. You took Noah somewhere, and then told me he wasn't breathing, I whisper. Lena, he says, a hint of impatience creeping in now. You're always at work, always. I figured this was the only way to get you out without an argument. An argument? My pulse spikes. You could have just asked me to come home, I say. And you would have said no, he replies instantly. You had that big presentation, right? My throat tightens. He knew. Of course he knew. I spent weeks preparing for it. Late nights, early mornings. It was the one thing my boss said could push me into the promotion I've been chasing for over a year. You don't get to do this, I say, the words coming out sharper now. You don't get to scare me like that. You don't get to use Noah. Relax, he interrupts again, louder this time. You're overreacting. Just come home. There's laughter behind him. Someone shouts his name. A woman's voice close, familiar, echoes in the background. I freeze. Who's there? I ask. He doesn't answer right away. Ethan, I say, more firmly now, who is in my house? Another pause. Then, almost casually, just people. People. My house? My chest tightens, something heavier settling in. Send me another picture, I say suddenly. What? Send me another picture, I repeat. Right now. There's a brief shuffle like he's adjusting his grip on the phone. Then the call ends. I stare at the screen. 3 seconds later, another photo comes through. This one clearer, brighter, and this time, there's no doubt. Strangers in my living room. Shoes on my floors, drinks on my table. And Ethan standing in the middle of it all, like he owns everything. My reflection stares back at me from the black edges of the screen, pale, stunned, still wearing the blazer I rushed out in like I was saving my child's life. Instead, I was clearing the house. My grip tightens. I turn away from the desk, already moving. Ma'am? The nurse calls after me. But I don't stop. Because now there's only one place I need to be. And one question burning louder than anything else. What exactly did he think I was going to do when I got home? I don't remember getting into my car, but I remember gripping the steering wheel so hard my fingers start to ache. The engine roars louder than usual. Or maybe it's just everything in my head crashing at once. He lied. Not a small lie. Not something careless or impulsive. He used our son. I pull out of the hospital a lot too fast, tires screeching slightly. A car honks behind me, but I don't look back. My phone sits in the cup holder, screen still lit with that photo, my living room turned into something I don't recognize. I hit speed dial. Mrs. Alvarez. She lives next door. Retired, always home, always watching everything without trying to. She picks up on the second ring. Lena, honey, everything okay? There's hesitation in her voice. That alone makes my chest tighten. Mrs. Alvarez, I say quickly, trying to keep my voice steady. Are you home right now? Yes. Can you look outside? I press, at my house. There's a pause. I can hear the faint creak of her front door opening through the phone. Oh, she says softly. That one word lands heavier than anything else tonight. What? I ask. What do you see? Well, she hesitates again, like she's choosing her words carefully. There are quite a few cars out front. I thought maybe you were hosting something. My jaw tightens. No, I say flatly. I'm not. Another pause. And there's been music for a while now, she adds, loud. I almost came over earlier, but I didn't want to intrude. Music, cars, people. This has been going on longer than I thought. How long? I ask. An hour? Maybe more. An hour. That's around when Ethan called me. Not after something happened. Before. My stomach drops. Thank you, I say, already pulling onto my street. I'll handle it. Lena, she says quickly, stopping me before I hang up. Is everything all right? I don't answer. Because I don't know how to. I end the call and turn the corner. And there it is. My house. Every light on. Cars lined up along the curb, some I've never seen before. A black SUV half parked on the grass. Someone's music spilling out even from the closed windows. Bass vibrating faintly through the night air. The front door is slightly open. Not wide, just enough to tell me people have been going in and out. I sit there for a second, engine still running. This doesn't feel real. This feels like I walked into the wrong life. My phone buzzes again. Ethan. I answer immediately. What are you doing? I ask, my voice low now, controlled in a way that surprises even me. There's laughter behind him again, louder this time, closer. Having people over, he says casually. You should come in instead of sitting out there. You lied to me, I say. You told me our son wasn't breathing. I told you he was fine after, he replies quickly, like that cancels everything. You're still stuck on that? Where is Noah? I cut in. At my sister's, he says. I told you, he's good. You dropped him off? Just to do this? My eyes stay locked on the house, on the silhouettes moving past the windows. Lena, he sighs, like I'm the one making this difficult. You never leave work unless it's life or death. I needed the house. This was the only way. Needed the house. The words echo. For what? I ask. There's a pause. Not long, but long enough to feel deliberate. You'll see, he says. Something in his tone shifts. Not joking, not defensive. Certain. My grip tightens again. Ethan, I say slowly. Who is in my house? Just people, he repeats. Friends. You don't have this many friends. He laughs at that. Actually laughs. Maybe you just don't know me as well as you think. That lands wrong. Deep. Before I can respond, the line goes quiet for a second, like he's turned away from the phone. I hear someone say his name. A woman's voice. Close. Too close. Ethan. I say again, sharper now. He comes back on the line. Yeah? Who was that? Another pause. Then, flatly, you're almost home, just come inside. And he hangs up. I stare at the phone for half a second. Then back at the house. The front door opens wider. Someone steps out, laughing, holding a drink, not even noticing me sitting there. Like I don't belong. Like this isn't mine. I open the car door, step out, and start walking toward my house, toward whatever he thinks he's turned it into. Because one thing is clear now. This isn't just a party. And whatever's waiting for me inside, he wanted me to see it. The music hits me before I even cross the threshold. Heavy bass, voices layered over each other, laughter that doesn't belong in my house. I push the door open fully. No one stops me. No one even questions me. A guy I've never seen before brushes past me, holding a drink, barely glancing in my direction. Bathroom? He asks like I'm just another guest. I don't answer. I step inside slowly, taking it in. Shoes scattered across the entryway, my rug creased, stained, someone's jacket thrown over the banister. The air smells like alcohol and something sweet, artificial. My house. It doesn't feel like mine. Hey, watch it. Someone bumps into me from the side, sloshing their drink onto the floor. They laugh, not even apologizing, and keep moving. I stand there for a second, completely still. Then I move forward. Each step feels heavier, like I'm walking into something I don't fully understand yet, but I know it's going to get worse. I pass the kitchen. 3 people leaning against the counter. One of them is opening a cabinet, my cabinet pulling out glasses, like they live here. Where's Ethan? I ask, cutting through their conversation. They glance at me, confused. Living room, I think, one of them says. I don't thank them. I already hear him. His voice cuts through everything else, loud, easy, familiar. I follow it, and then I see him across the room, standing like he owns the space, drink in hand, and his arm around her. Kayla. I recognize her immediately, gym coworker, always lingering a little too long in conversations, always laughing a little too hard at his jokes. I'd met her twice. Both times, something about her felt intentional. Now she's pressed against his side like she belongs there. Like I don't exist. He sees me. No shock, no panic, just a slow, almost amused smile. Hey, he says, like I just walked in from grocery shopping. You made it. The room doesn't go quiet, but something shifts. A few people glance between us, sensing something off. I step closer. Where is our son? Each word lands sharper than the last. Kayla's smile falters slightly, but she doesn't move away from him. Ethan takes a sip of his drink before answering. At my sister's, he says again. He's fine. You said he wasn't breathing, I repeat. And now I'm saying he is, he replies. So we're good. My hands curl into fists. You lied to me. You made me think our child was dying. I needed you out, he says simply. No apology. No hesitation. Just that. The room feels smaller. Out? So you could do this? I gesture around us at the strangers, the mess, her. A few people are definitely listening now. Phones subtly angled, eyes locked in. Ethan shrugs. You're never home, Lena. Figured I'd make use of it. Make use of it. Something inside me tightens. This isn't just a party, I say quietly. He tilts his head slightly, watching me like I'm catching up to something obvious. Of course it is, he says. What else would it be? But there's something under it. Something he's not saying. My phone buzzes again in my hand. I glance down. 3 missed calls. From my boss. A message underneath. We had to cancel. Call me immediately. My stomach drops. I look back up at Ethan. You knew I had that presentation today, I say. He doesn't deny it. You knew I couldn't leave. You did leave, he points out, because he made sure I had no choice. A quiet laugh comes from somewhere behind me, someone whispering, this is insane. Heat rises to my face, but it's not embarrassment. It's something sharper, something colder. I scan the room again, and that's when I notice it. Something missing. My bag, the one I left by the door this morning, my laptop, my files, everything for that presentation. Gone. I turn back to him slowly. Where are my things? For the first time, his smile changes. Not bigger, not smaller, just different, controlled. Relax, he says. That word again? I didn't touch anything important. My pulse spikes. You don't get to decide what's important, I snap. A beat passes. Then he leans in slightly, lowering his voice just enough that only I can hear him. They're somewhere safe, he says. Safe. The word lands wrong. Too deliberate, too planned. I stare at him. And for the first time tonight, a different thought cuts through everything else. This didn't start when I walked into this house. This started before I ever left work. I take a step back, eyes narrowing. You planned this, I say. He doesn't answer. But he doesn't deny it either. And that's enough. Because suddenly, this isn't about a party. It's not even about the lie. It's about what he needed me out of the way for. And whatever that is, it's already happened. The music is still pounding, people still moving, laughing, but it all feels distant now. Like I'm standing outside of it, watching something that already happened. Because whatever Ethan needed time for, he got it. I turn away from him without another word. Lena, he calls after me, a hint of warning in his voice now. I ignore it. I'm already moving toward the stairs. Each step feels sharper than the last, focused, controlled. Behind me, I hear him say something to someone. Kayla, maybe, but I don't stop to listen. I reach the top of the stairs and head straight for our bedroom. The door is closed. Locked. I stop. That alone is enough to confirm it. We don't lock this door. Not from each other. My hand tightens around the knob anyway, testing it. Nothing. Of course. I glance back down the hallway. No one's followed me yet. Good. I reach into my bag, then pause. Right. My bag isn't here. Another spike of anger hits, but I push it down. There's a spare key. Top drawer of the hallway cabinet. I move quickly, open it, dig past old receipts and batteries until my fingers close around the small metal key. Back to the door. Slide it in. Turn. Click. The door opens slowly, and everything inside confirms it. My laptop is open on the bed. My files, printed copies, notes, everything I prepared spread out across the sheets like someone went through all of it piece by piece. Not tossed. Not messy. Reviewed. My chest tightens. I step inside, closing the door behind me. The noise from downstairs dulls slightly, but my heartbeat doesn't. I move closer to the bed. The laptop screen is still on. Email open. Sent. Folder. One message at the top. Unread replies stacking underneath it. My name in the sender field. My boss in the recipient. My throat goes dry before I even click it. But I already know. I already know this isn't going to be fixable. Still, I open it. And there it is. Short, clean, direct. Effective immediately. I resign from my position. Thank you for the opportunity. That's it. No explanation. No notice. No hesitation. Timestamped. Minutes after I left the office. My hand slowly lowers from the trackpad. The room feels smaller. Colder. He didn't just get me out of the meeting. He made sure I didn't have a job to go back to. A sound escapes me, but I don't even recognize it as mine. I scroll. Replies from my boss. Confused. Urgent. Lena, is this a mistake? Please call me immediately. We're holding the presentation. What's going on? And then one more. Sent just minutes ago. We had to cancel. We'll discuss this tomorrow. It's done. Not just tonight. Everything I've been working toward, gone because he decided it should be. My jaw tightens. Not panic. Not even shock anymore. Something else. Something colder. Controlled. I close the laptop slowly. Take a breath. And then I turn and walk back out of the room. Down the stairs. The noise rushes back in, but it doesn't touch me now. People are still there. Still drinking. Still laughing. Like nothing changed. But everything did. I push through them, straight toward Ethan. He sees me coming. This time, his smile doesn't come as easily. What? He says, a little sharper now. You done snooping? I stop in front of him, close enough that he has to look directly at me. You sent it, I say. Not a question. His eyes flicker for just a second. Then he shrugs. You were going to leave anyway, he says. I just sped things up. A few people nearby go quiet, listening. You resigned from my job, I say, my voice steady. From my account. You're welcome, he replies. That lands. Hard. You've been choosing work over your family for years, he continues, louder now, like he wants people to hear. Now you don't have that excuse. Excuse. The word echoes. I study his face. Really study it. The confidence. The certainty. Like he thinks he fixed something. Like he thinks this ends in his favor. You didn't do this for a party, I say quietly. He pauses. Just for a second. And that's all it takes. Because the look in his eyes changes. Not denial. Not confusion. Something closer to calculation. I tilt my head slightly. No, I continue. You didn't lie about our son, throw people into my house and destroy my job just to drink with your friends. The room feels tighter now. People are definitely watching, listening, waiting. I hold his gaze. So, what did you actually do it for? For the first time tonight, Ethan doesn't answer right away. For a moment, Ethan just looks at me. Not smiling, not laughing, thinking. The noise around us fades not because it actually stops, but because every bit of my attention locks on to him. This is it. Whatever he's been building toward all night, it's right here. You really want to do this now? He asks finally, voice lower. Yes, I say. No hesitation. No anger in my tone anymore. Just clarity. A few people nearby go quiet. Someone turns the music down slightly, just enough for voices to carry. Ethan exhales, glancing briefly around the room like he's deciding how much to say. Then he looks back at me. You've been pulling away for a long time, he starts. Working late, always distracted, acting like this job is the only thing that matters. That doesn't answer my question. I cut in. His jaw tightens. It does, he says. You just don't like it. Try again. There's a flicker of irritation now. Good. Because for the first time tonight, he's not fully in control of the narrative. He shifts his weight, then shrugs like he's done pretending. Fine, he says. You want the truth? I'm tired of living like I don't matter in my own house. That's why you pretended our son was dying? I ask. That's why I made sure you couldn't ignore me, he snaps back. Murmurs ripple through the room. But I don't look away from him. And the email? I press. My job? He hesitates. There it is again, that split-second delay. The real answer lives there. You were already choosing it over us, he says, so I made the choice simple. No, I say quietly, you made it permanent. His expression hardens. Same difference. It's not, and he knows it. I let a second pass. Then another, then I ask the question he's been avoiding. What's the real reason, Ethan? Silence. This time, longer. He glances at Kayla, still standing a few feet away, watching this unfold with a completely different expression now. Not smug anymore. Uneasy. Then he looks back at me, and something in him shifts. Not softer, just more honest. I'm in debt, he says. The words drop flat into the room. No build-up. No drama. Just truth. I don't react right away. How much? I ask. Enough, he mutters. That's not an answer. Credit cards, loans, some bad decisions. He rubs the back of his neck. It got out of control. When? I ask. A while ago. How long is a while? A year. Maybe more. A year. A full year of this hidden. While I was working late, building something stable, something secure, he was dismantling it from the inside. And your solution, I say slowly, was to destroy my job? His eyes flash. No, my solution was to stop you from leaving. That lands differently. Colder. Leaving? I repeat. You think I didn't see it, he says? The way things were going? You get that promotion, you don't need me anymore. Financially, emotionally, none of it. That's not. You would have walked, he cuts in. Maybe not right away, but eventually. I stare at him. Because now the pieces aren't just falling into place. They're locking. You wanted me dependent, I say. He doesn't answer. He doesn't have to. The silence does it for him. You took my job away, I continue, each word measured, so I wouldn't have the option to leave. I kept this family together, he says sharply. No, I reply. You tried to trap me in it. That hits. Hard. A few people shift uncomfortably. Someone quietly sets their drink down. The energy in the room has changed completely. Ethan looks around, realizing it too. This isn't his party anymore. This is exposure. And he knows it. You're twisting this, he says, but there's less conviction now. I don't argue. I reach into my pocket slowly, pull out my phone, and press stop. The small recording icon disappears. His eyes drop to the screen, then snap back up to mine. You recorded that? He asks. Yes. The word lands clean. What the hell is wrong with you? He snaps. I hold his gaze. You lied about our son dying, I say. You broke into my work account, you impersonated me, you tried to control my income. I tilt my head slightly. What did you think I was going to do? He doesn't answer. Because now he sees it. Not the argument. The consequences. I turn away from him and pull up my contacts. First call, his sister. She picks up immediately. Lena, is everything okay? Is Noah with you? I ask. Yes, he's asleep. Why? I'm coming to get him, I say. Thank you for keeping him. I hang up before she can ask anything else. Second call. I need officers at my address, I say, turning slightly so my voice carries just enough. There are unauthorized individuals in my home. That does it. Panic ripples instantly. People start grabbing their things, whispering, moving toward the door. Wait, what are you doing? Ethan says, stepping toward me. I take a step back, fixing this. Within minutes, the house begins to empty. Not calmly, not cleanly. Quick, messy exits, avoided eye contact, phones tucked away. Kayla is one of the first to leave. She doesn't look at Ethan on her way out. By the time the police arrive, the music is off. The house is quiet, and Ethan is standing in the middle of it alone. The fallout doesn't take long. My boss listens. Really listens. IT confirms the login wasn't from my usual location. Timestamp aligns with when I was at the hospital. The email is flagged. Voided. My position reinstated. The presentation rescheduled. Ethan's situation unfolds faster than he expects. The recording, the financial records, the unauthorized access. It all stacks. Divorce papers follow within days. Not emotional, not drawn out, precise. His debts surfaced during the process worse than he admitted. Accounts frozen. Investigations opened. People who laughed in my living room that night stopped answering his calls. And me, a week later, I'm sitting at the kitchen table. Same house, quiet, no music, no strangers, just morning light through the window. Noah sits across from me, coloring something carefully, tongue slightly out in concentration. Are you going to work today? He asks without looking up. I pause, just for a second, then I nod. Yeah, I say, I am. This time, my voice is steady, grounded, real. My phone buzzes beside me. A message from my boss. Presentation's first thing. You're up. I pick it up, stand. And for the first time in a long time, nothing is pulling me away. No lies. No traps. No one deciding my life for me. Just the truth. And what I choose to do with it.
What would you have done? Call the police immediately or confront him? Tell me below.